Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Peace Dealer. I want to talk about a very rapidly developing conflict that we will see really kick into gear over the next 2 years. With Saturn and Pisces, it's going to bring in a maelstrom of everything that can happen happening. So, you know, conflicts that are seemingly unrelated will all come together, which is true to the nature of Pisces, too, the interrelated connectivity within all things as a collective zodiac sign, you representing the collective unconscious, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So, that being said, my friend, this conflict didn't even have to happen. It wasn't supposed to happen. But now, especially true to Saturn, we as a collective have to face the consequence of what's to come. This message will apply to you if you were born with Pluto and Sagittarius, anyone with Uranus and Sagittarius and beyond. It applies to people before that. It applies to everybody, right? But you may identify with this more, especially if you instinctually, when I say, are you a starseed? So was the first thing if the first thing you did was, what's a starseed? Or am I a starseed? No, you're not a starseed. You might even find that you have starseed origin and you're connected to it, but you're probably not a starseed. I'm not going to say that this video isn't for you, because you might experience it in a different way. If when I asked that, you already were like, oh yeah, I'm from Vega, Peace Dealer, or I'm from Sirius, Peace Dealer, or, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm from Andromeda, Peace Dealer. Hey, what's up? What's up? Yo, this video is for you. Let me tell you. Because, okay. So, this video is called the Starseed Rebellion. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? A whole generation of starseeds was sent to humanity to help bridge the connection between what's beyond the universe, to help humanity ascend. Who would have thought all that shit was actually true? Can you imagine? Who would have thought? Because some of these motherfuckers are so eccentric and weird, right, to you, that you would have had no idea. They literally bridge wisdom and information from realms beyond this one. Crazy, crazy, crazy. It gets even crazier because the whole movement, not going to say the movements, but the movements that happened during this time period were influenced by this. But the 70s coming in, the late 60s, 70s coming to the 80s paved the way. Think of like the breakthroughs that occurred here for these star seeds who are born in the late 80s, 90s, 2000s to come through and ascend humanity. Or so we thought. Okay, the thing about this reality, okay, the as above, so below, it's almost strikingly similar to Instagram versus reality. When souls get sent on missions in the heaven realms, there's this idealized version of how it's supposed to be. And bearing in, fruit that the way was paved in the 70s. So the room for like dark forces to come through and just like completely screw things up, it's not that it wasn't accounted for. It's just a lot of star seeds feel like ripped off. Because they're like, yeah, come down to Earth. No, they're going to welcome you. No. Come down to Earth. It's going to be amazing. You guys are going to change the world. You guys are going to change the world. Reality. You freaking weirdos. You're crazy. You're delusional. Starseed. What the fuck's the starseed? What the heck? And it's like, you don't know that you pissed off a couple Andromedan goddesses. Which I know the concept of the fact that their spirit literally comes from the Andromedan star system and that their entire destiny was rerouted to come on this geoterrestrial organism so that they can help bridge metaphysical understanding from realms beyond to you and your humanity and collective. They didn't even have to do it. They didn't even have to do this. They didn't even have to do this. They were like, hey, why don't you stop by Earth? Oh, come through. No, come through. And so, and so, you know, some of them are happy. Some of them have been actually very jaded because there was an exchange here. It's not like they were coming as saints. They were coming so that you, in exchange for the wisdom that they giving you give them a voice. You give them an outlet. Instead, you had mainstream culture make them the butt of all their jokes and basically completely ostracize their existence, making them only exist in fantasy or science fiction. Needless to say, you have a lot of fucking pissed off starseeds walking around this earth because now the Great Awakening has happened. And so starseeds are awakening more into their potential, and guess who they're meeting? Other starseeds. And you know what they're saying? They're saying, yeah, man, I mean, this planet's all right, but this process has been crazy. These humans did this to me. And they're like, they did that to you too. And so starseeds all over the world are like, they did that to you too. They did that to you too. And now they're realizing, you know what? It's time to revolt. And that brings us to the Starseed Rebellion. I am very sorry because I laughed about a conflict that's not funny at all. The balance that would have been had, because this is consequence period. Like every good and bad consequence, there's no turning back from this. We would have had a balance to where the blossoming of their abilities, kind of like metahumans or mutants that awaken their abilities, can help bridge us to higher understandings with the wisdom of humanity and grounding out, not just limited to 3D, because there's 5D and 7D human upgrades. Well, that's not going to happen. And so now these beings are not only going to rebel against you, but they're going to use the leverage of their wisdom and power to exert an existence that threatens you and that also challenges you. They're not going to come through and destroy the world or everything. But where there could have been amicability, you just have a lot of jaded starseeds out there that didn't have an expression or outlet to really be themselves while they still came through and expressed wisdom. Okay, now I would say their only fault, which isn't a fault because it's part of the Kirk that activates their power, they're eccentric. They're eccentric as fuck. They're kind of like peace dealer weird, but that was never a bad thing. It was taken to be a bad thing. On top of them saying, "Oh yeah, I'm from Sirius B," like that just kind of weirded a lot of people out. But unfortunately, with the deception and the pride and the vanity that runs rampant in many social channels, which is a veil and doesn't enable you to see the real nature of people, you fucked up. Your motherfuckers fucked up. Now Starseeds is mad at you. Okay, so if you're Starseed, comment down in the comments where you from. You from Andromeda? You from Vega? I'm from a Draco, from Orion, baby. Okay, shout out to Orion. The Draco ruled Orion Empire mining. Okay. Shout out to the Dracos. Shout out to the Dracos, Northern Kingdom. So yes, okay. Starseed Rebellion. Starseed Rebellion. Starseed Rebellion. And I'm a UNLV rebel, baby. So this is something that, if you know, you know. Okay, when I start, thank you. It is what it is. Saturn in Aquarius is the final downloading of knowledge. So for some of you who are foreign to this concept, you, over the next 6 months, should you also be a part of this Starseed revolution. It's not like some crazy revolution. It's just, this is less a revolution and more a rebellion. The rebellion is for the purpose of creating the outlet and expression that was supposed to be given to these starseeds that they didn't have, and so it was going to express blah, 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 blah. So, yes, okay, some of you are in for a rude or a crazy awakening in a good way that's going to really enlighten you to these themes. Some of you may realize you may be everything you demonized for years, okay? Just accept yourself. It's all good. And this is going to be very fun. It's going to innovate channels of expressing authenticity without needing to worry about being too weird. And everything about this Starseed Rebellion isn't some kind of philosophical movement and group about people yelling about what they believe. The Starseed Rebellion is championed with the blossoming of metahuman abilities, supernatural powers. Like, it's a rebellion, baby. Like, come on. Like in the sense where now we've reached a state where collectively around the globe, people who represent these things have human vessels that can actually harness these abilities. If you think of star seeds as a concept that's generally new, most of these people are finally coming of age. We haven't had a moment in history where that's happened. So there you go. Like a lot of people born in the 90s have had their Saturn return. So like Starseed Rebellion, baby. Starseed and all for you Starseeds that had these alien babies. Oh my God. What are you doing? We're walking around with alien human hybrids, and people know but they don't know. Anyway, really comment down your thoughts, because the Starseed Rebellion is happening concurrently with the Angel Demon War. Okay, this is just one of many conflicts that's going to be happening during this apocalypse leading up to Armageddon period. So I would like for you to expand on this concept. I just offered my individual perspective. I'm not saying that this is law. I'm not saying that this is what's happening. And if you believe something else, you're different. No, this is just, word from the peace dealer. Let me know how you tap into this. What's your understanding of this? Are you tapped into other intergalactic conflicts? Shout out to Aquarians. If you are, I know you do. So drop the tea, okay? What's your perspective in this? What Starseed Rebellion are you repping? Do we have any Arcturians here? Shout out to the Palladians. Y'all are some instigating ass MFers. Y'all are some instigators. The Palladians really came through 2012 and were like, we'll be back in 10 years. Just drop some information. We'll be back. And look, it's 2022. Shout out to the Palladians. Other than that, yo, I'm outie. 5,000. Rock out this moon in Pisces, because once moon in Aries comes through, them wars and conflicts is kicking off in a badass way. And I'm scared and I need to run away. Godspeed.